Wow, I can't believe it's already Halloween. I've been so busy with classes, I've barely had time to even think about Halloween. Isabella told me about this party 2 weeks ago, but I hadn't even thought about it until a couple days ago. Hey Max, you ready yet? Come on, we've got to be there by 8. Hang on, I'm almost done getting changed. Luckily, my keyboardist Jerry does makeup as a hobby. He hooked me up with a pretty sweet costume, even if it is a little last minute. This is gonna take me a few to get on, okay? Meanwhile, I'm gonna call Chad and let him know I'm on my way. I'm out in 5 minutes, so don't be late, okay? Isabella leaves, dialing her cell phone. And I forgot about Chad. I'm sure he'll be dressed up as something stupid. Gotta admit, I was looking forward to hanging out with Isabella in whatever hot-ass outfit she chose. Plus, whoever else shows up. But yeah, I certainly don't feel like spoiling my mood dealing with the giant slab of stupid Chad. And now that I'm just thinking if I even want to go. I mean, I guess there'll be plenty of eye candy if I do go. Chad can't stop me from looking. I don't know. Whatever. Hell, Chad can't stop me. I'm gonna strut my stuff for all the fine ladies. A quick change later, and I head out to the porch with Isabella. Well? Hey, nice! I was new you're brain dead, but I didn't think the rest of you were dead too. Oh, the rest was dead too. Oh, bite me. Please. Preferably in the room for the next couple hours. You're looking damn fine, babe. You don't have to tell me hot stuff. Now, if only the others would show up, we could get going. As called, I am here. Oh, you dog, you. No, wolf, Isabella. I'm a wolf. It's a saying, Rakesh. You look good, Rakesh. How long did that take? Not long, though the glue I rolled in, it itches. I am not sure what kind of fur this is either. That's terrible, Rakesh. But for now, you look great, so who cares? Who else is coming? I think you'll like this spell. Isabella leans close to me. Oh, I like it already. Say it with me. Bippity, boppity, boo? Now I know I like this spell. You're never gonna get a scare like that, hon. Come on, you gotta sell it. Definitely, because whatever you're selling, I'm buying. Between the two of you, I'm gonna run out of cash. I'll be happy to bleed you dry later, hot stuff. Your costume looks good too, Max. Thanks. Is this it? Any other surprises for me? This is it. Dominic's hanging back to hand out candy if anybody comes by. Sally's gone to hand out pamphlets on where to compost your pumpkins. Girl knows how to party. Well, then let's get going. I don't know how to do their voice anymore for Isabella. I forgot, and my brain can't understand it. These two fine ladies in tow? Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Together we make our way down to the party site, another house on campus. 10 minutes later, just in time, we're staring at an incredibly well-decorated house. Whoever did the decorating really went all out. The whole place is covered in cobwebs, and I can even see some cutouts that look like ghosts in some of the windows. Welcome to you, our most esteemed guests of honor. I presume you're the inspectors we sent for? Huh? You may call me Butler. We rang the constables to solve the ghastly murder in our quaint dormitory. I thought you were they. No? Well, please come in. I look at the other roomies who all appear to be just as confused as I am. I don't know why he's talking that way, but he enters through the front door and gestures for us to enter as well. Gestures for us to enter as well. My voice is not having fun. I heard it was a theme party, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. Hey, as long as I'm with you ladies, I'll play whatever weird stuff they want to throw my way. This way, please. Do mind the corpse. Mind the... And before Rakesh can finish, we've all entered and are staring at the bloody corpse in the middle of the hall. There are about 10 other people here with us. Some of the others are talking amongst themselves about the body. And it's actually really well done. It looks very believable. Poor Mr. Body. He owns the building. Well, owned. He donated a rather large sum to the college, apparently on behalf of a student he had a particular fondness for. Actually, it's rather odd, but he'd been filling out these cards when he sent me out. They have your names on them. Butler hands everyone in the room a card with their name on it. Ah, so that's why we had to RSVP for this thing. I opened my card, and inside it says, "You were Mr. Body's #1 salesperson. You're innocent, but the murderer is out there. At 7, you were refueling your vehicle." Hey, what'd you guys get? Please do not discuss the contents of your letter until the constable arrives. You wouldn't want anyone to tamper with the evidence. While we wait, please avail yourselves of the amenities. There is a kitchen down the hall. The study is that way, and the sitting room is through the door. I expect there may be clues about, and I'm sure you'll discover something along the way. So what's going on? Looks like you're on the case, hot stuff. Time to figure out who murdered this poor sap. This game is afoot, as it were. Oh, it's elementary, my dear Rakesh. Oh, this would be so much fun. Well, I think I know what I'd like to investigate. Down, dead boy. It appears we must solve this dreadful crime. Who doesn't love a good mystery? You're way into this, son. This might be pretty cool. I think I'm gonna see what I can find in the study. Butler, is there food in the kitchen? Indubitably. I shall take that as a yes and go feed myself. I'm just imagining you say, "Am I allowed to go eat?" And they just say something. You're like, "I don't understand what you said, but I'll take it as a yes." God damn it. I think I'll see what I can deduce in the sitting room. I think I'll come and find you guys in a second. Don't keep me waiting, hot stuff. You know it, babe. While we're making our plans, so is everyone else. Soon enough, the crowd disperses and only the butler is left. So, dude, what's really up? Well, exactly what I've said so far. All right, I'll play along. So what are the facts, Jack? I'm afraid I don't know much. Feel free to look over the body for clues, and I'll answer your questions as you like. All right, I can work with this. I think I may be surprising everyone tonight. The only question now is where to start. There are 4 rooms to visit, if I include the main room. There are probably clues in each of them, not to mention my friends. I guess I'll just have to figure out which one to visit first. Well, I guess investigate the main hall. After all, there is a body here to look into. I look around the room just to get my bearings. And there are some stairs going up here, but that seems to be out of bounds for the game. The main entrance is here too. The butler appears to have gone back outside to wait for the police. Body lies before me, and whoever did it did a great job. It almost looks like a real person who's had the back of their skull caved in. The body is wearing a very nice 3-piece suit that has been treated very roughly. Whoever got to him must have had a fight on their hands. There are holes and tears all over. The man is also clearly quite well-to-do. A gold watch peeks out from under one of his sleeves. I'm a little hesitant to mess with the body, and because I don't really know if it's against the rules or not. Hey, butler, can I touch this guy? If you think it'll help your case, sir. Everyone else seems to have gone to search for clues elsewhere. I'm sure the police will be able to put things together if nobody else here can. Sounds good. I take a look at the watch on his wrist, and it's definitely seen better times. The strap's nearly broken off, and the face is definitely broken. A little blood has gotten onto it on the strap and, well, on the knob on the side. It's so weird. The watch hands have stopped moving, stuck pointing at 7. I decide to go through the pockets of his jacket as well after a few moments of riffling around. My hand grasps something. It looks like a key. It's very small. No, crap. This is bad. So, the key is for Rakesh. So, literally no matter what, I can't gain points with Anne during this. It's fine since they give me plenty of points anyways. But this entire event is pointless because I'll never get points with Anne. Because that's Rakesh's. It looks like a key. It's very small with one of those round bodies like they used to use on vending machines. It's probably for a lockbox or a safe or something. This guy doesn't seem like the type to need to get into vending machines very often. There doesn't appear to be anything else of note in his body. Hey, butler. Next time you told me what you know. Exactly what happened here. Very well. Here's the sordid tale.
I was here when the master returned from work at 6 in the evening. He was certainly planning on throwing a costume party tonight. All the invitations to you were sent off ages ago. At 6:55, the master noticed that we were all dreadfully short of port for the evening. He immediately sent me to go acquire more for the night. Obviously, I don't really know what happened while I was gone. I arrived back from the shops at 7:30. I entered to find the hideous scene you see before you. I called the police, of course, but then you all began arriving and, well, you know where we go from there.
Did you hear any strange noises when you were leaving? Any sign of a struggle? If we assume his watch broke at the time of assault, it wasn't long after you left.
No, I don't recall hearing anything unusual as I left. It was actually a pretty quiet night.
And there was nobody here when you got back?
No, I checked all the rooms and nobody was about.
Are there any other entrances or exits?
There is a back entrance, but it was still locked when I checked it.
All right. Well, thank you, butler.
Of course, sir.
I think that's all I'm going to get out of this place for now. Certainly a good place to start. Question is, where next? That frustrates me, I know it's Rakesh. I think it's time to visit the kitchen. Maybe I can catch up with Rakesh. I wander down the hall into what appears like a little break room. There's a refrigerator and a microwave in here. There's even one of those little electric grills plugged in. I see Rakesh applying peanut butter to some bread slices at the counter next to the refrigerator. Digging around it inside the fridge, I see a girl I just don't know.
Let me know when you find the jelly, Roxanne.
Yes, I'm looking. I don't know if they have any. How did you talk me into this anyways?
Well, because I make an excellent sandwich.
Hey, Rakesh.
Ah, Max, welcome. I will get more bread. What is a kitchen without snacks,
Hey, who's your new friend?
This is Roxanne. Apparently she was staying here in the building to sort out some of her affairs.
Affairs? In an old schoolhouse? That unfortunate murder case in the Great Hall is my father. He called me here under some pretense of having something to tell me. It was apparently going to be something about his new lover. Honestly, if he weren't paying my way through college, I wouldn't have listened to anything the old bag had to say. Daddy trying to buy your love? What's the matter? Didn't get enough hugs. Oh, please, he was an awful man. A gambler and a drunk. He probably just fell down those stairs. I hated the man. Hated him to his bones. I won't deny it. I've got nothing to hide. Roxanne slams a jar of jelly on the counter next to Rakesh and just storms out of the room. Rakesh finishes making the sandwiches and hands one to me. So, what's your deal in this crazy place, Rakesh?
Ah, yes. Well, as to my story, I'm not sure if you ever saw me around the office. I was Mr. Body's bodyguard. He did not feel it was necessary when he was at his own office. Still, I saw you a time or two.
He was your boss as well, huh? Did you two get along all right?
Ah, yes. He was a very strict boss.
You didn't like him?
Oh, that's not true at all. Well, maybe a little true. I was not fond of him, but one does not need to be fond of one's employer to remain employed, is that correct?
I suppose that's true. But surely you could have found somewhere else to work.
Mr. Body was very persuasive.
You don't sound like a loyal employee.
Perish the thought. At any rate, I do not have anything to do with the terrible crime out there tonight. That is for certain.
So where were you around 7 tonight?
What time was that? An hour before we got here. Well, I was just finishing up with an art class. I was doing a bit of life modeling.
I didn't know you did that.
Well, art is a bit of a side passion of mine.
Oh, God. Oh, no. We just both chuckle at that.
Mr. Body said that he wouldn't need me tonight, so I took the opportunity.
Just one last thing, Rakesh. Can you look at this for me?
I hand the key over to Rakesh, and he looks it over, seeming very nervous for a moment. Where did you get this?
From his body. Do you recognize it?
It looks like a key to one of his safes upstairs. I suppose it's good you got it from his body. I was afraid it meant that his keys had been stolen.
You recognize the safe it goes to?
Oh, I just guessed. It seemed like the right type.
Well, I'd like to show it around, so if I could get it back.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, well, thank you, Rakesh. Make sure to find me if you think of anything else.
Most definitely. Thank you, Max.
There is definitely more to Rakesh's relationship with Mr. Body than he's saying, but I'll have to figure it out as I go. Oh, God, I forgot. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in the murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. I heard he was going to write a book about his memoirs. That would have been so boring. Hopefully he had a good editor to spice it up. I wonder if he did have that editor. Well, anyway, there's another room down. Only question now is where to go next. I think she's in here. Looks like... Well, I mean, it looks just like our common room, but with a nicer TV. It even looks like someone brought in a small bar. Upon closer inspection, it looks like it's got all kinds of juices, but no alcohol. Which means I immediately find it uninteresting. But Anne is here on one of the small couches in a corner, writing on a small notebook. A few other people are sitting in various other parts of the room, but they all seem to be nattering about nothing. Come to think of it, I haven't really seen all those other people much. Most of them must have just come here to discuss things. Looks like a bunch of them have juice glasses. Ah, hello, Anne. Hiding out near, huh? Well, maybe a little. I have my reasons. Well, speaking of reasons, maybe we should talk about your story here. Come on. Let's talk about you for a while, huh? Oh, okay, Mr. Sleuth. What would you like to know? How did you know Mr. Body? Oh, I only just met him a few months ago, actually. I didn't really know him very well. He hired me to write his memoirs, you see. Do you think he had an interesting enough life for a book? I mean, was his company that successful? I've heard a few Fortune 500 types putting out their stories. Was it like that? Well, yes, exactly like that. Apparently he heard a few of my books before, and he wanted me to ghostwrite his story. Have you read any of my books? I wrote the Starlight Sally series that everyone was reading a few years back. I also wrote A Spy's Game is Murder, which you might know. Do those books even exist, Anne? I didn't know you'd written anything. Max, I'm in character here. Get into the spirit of it, would you? I swear I'll put a hex on you. Okay, calm down. So, you wrote some really well-known books then? Well, yes, a lot of fantasy and fiction mostly. I told my publisher I was interested in writing some non-fiction. When he mentioned that Mr. Body was a big fan, I thought it would be my chance. And how's the book coming along? Oh, it was fine. He was an interesting subject, certainly. Anne can't meet my eyes as she says this. She stops just short of making a disgusted face. Didn't exactly make for a page-turner. Oh, no. I can make any story interesting. It's what I do. Do you know that Starlight Sally and the Bugman of Xanadu was really just a story about an ant farm? #1 on the New York bestsellers list for 7 weeks. And it could have easily just been written by a third-grade science report. That's how good I am. And did you have to do a lot of doctoring on Mr. Body's story? Well, how could I? It was nonfiction. Anna's gone back to writing in her little notebook. Just notes on this case. If you don't hurry, I'm going to figure out the culprit before you. So where were you at 7? You can ask the bartender at the Dog and Biscuit. He'd probably be the only one who could tell you of how many I'd had, since he's the one that cut me off. Wait, what? Seriously? Max! Oh, right, on character, sorry. Look, I don't have a drinking problem. I drink, I get drunk, I write books. No problem. That's a good one. Okay, one last question. Take a look at this for me, would you? I show Anne the small key. Isn't that the key to one of his office safes? How would I know? I just found it on his body. It looks like it. I saw him use one in his office once. He said he kept personal files in it. Then he gave me a stupid wink he always gave me when he thought he was being clever. Probably he had some dirt on someone he was keeping in there. Probably had his fingers in a few dirty pies. He'd always tease that stuff out, but never gave any actual details to write about. I suppose he thought it made him mysterious, but it was really just tedious. So he kept illicit files in his office safe. Allegedly. You certainly didn't hear anything from me. Well, thank you for your time, man. I'll let you get back to writing your case notes. Let me know if you come up with anything. We'll see. Good luck, detective. I'll be interested to see if you get this one right, Max. Anne looks at me appraisingly, and she's really into this stuff. I think she's actually enjoying the intellectual challenge. I give her a little bow and then head back out. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. I heard he was going to write a book about his memoirs. That would have been really boring. Hopefully he had a good editor to spice it up. I wonder if he did have that editor. Well, anyway, that's another room down. Only question now is where to go next. What? No. Wasn't that the... Oh my god, I had a stroke. Time to visit the study. I think Isabella came in here. One of the classrooms had been converted for the evening. Looks like there are people relaxing all over. Someone even put a few pipes on a coffee table between some of the chairs. They probably haven't been used, since I'm pretty sure this is a no-smoking building. Isabella is sitting on one of the chairs, idly leafing through a book. I don't know if she's reading it or not, actually. Hey, Isabella. Hey, hot stuff. Glad you came to find me. I was afraid I was going to have to be all alone in here. She's really laying it on pretty thick tonight. Not that I mind. So, where's Chad anyways? Suppose it's too much to hope he's the corpse out there. Ha, no such luck. Chad left much earlier. Said he had to go bail one of his friends out. Hey, that just means more for me. So what did your card say? That would be telling. And where's the fun in that? Aren't you going to try to worm the information out of me? Well, there are plenty of things I'd like to get out of you. Oh, tempting. Isabella stands up from her chair and walks over to me, draping her arm over my shoulders. So, Mr. Interrogator, you think you can wring a confession from these lips? Well, this could involve some very in-depth questioning. I wouldn't want you to get tongue-tied. Don't worry. I'm very hot under pressure. You're hot anywhere, babe. Come on. Did you do the crime? Isabella grins wickedly at me and then just leans in close to my ear. If I was guilty, detective, would it matter? Pursing her lips, she blows a little air over my ear. Well, I can certainly offer you a hell of a deal if you cooperate with me. What's the fun in cooperating? The struggle's so much more interesting. I'll play it any way you want it, babe. I can be mean, or I can be very, very nice. Well, since you asked so nicely. So, what's your story here, Isabella? Well, Mr. Buddy was my boss. We worked together for God's sake. I've been his secretary for 3 years now. Do you have any problems with your boss? Well, of course not. We got along famously. Everyone knows he was always hanging off my every word. And was there anything else going on between you two? I'm sorry, what? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, please, babe. If you were my secretary, I'd be in HR every day for being inappropriate. Are you saying I can't be professional, Max? That's almost exactly what I'm saying. I'm also saying that men are more than happy to be unprofessional along with you. Oh god, sorry. I know I am. I close the distance between us, looking down at her with my best gotcha stare. Well, fine, yeah. We messed around a bit. It was nothing serious, just a little harmless fun. I knew it. And did his wife know about this harmless fun? Well, if it's harmless, then she wouldn't really need to know about it, would she? I figured. So where were you around 7? Ugh, don't remind me. That was just before we got here, right? You asked why Chad didn't come. Well, just ask the patrons at my cafe. They'll tell you why he didn't come. We had a huge fight when he told me I had to go bail someone out of jail. He left at 7, and I went home to prepare to come here with you. How far away is the cafe from here? I don't know, about 15 minutes. Okay, one more question. Take a look at this for me. I hand the key over to Isabella, who turns it over in her hands a few times before handing it back. Just looks like a key to one of his safes. I'm surprised that there was only the one. He must have had 3 dozen of the things. I don't know which safe it goes to, though. He generally didn't let me at his safes. Well, thank you for your time, Isabella. No problem, Detective. Hope you figure out who did this and bring them to justice. Isabella winks at me and goes back to idly leafing through her book on her comfy chair. Well, there was clearly an affair happening between her and Buddy, but that's not necessarily evidence that she did it. I'll have to investigate further. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. Yeah, our life model totally bailed on our class early. He left like 10 minutes early. That is what I didn't get the first time I had Rakesh's fail. So the first time Rakesh was it that he had the key, that like I found the key, I didn't get this clue, and that's why I failed. I didn't get it. It seemed like it would be something with Anne, because maybe he was like withholding payments from her. But this clue, yeah, our life model bailed on our class early. He left like 10 minutes early. This means that Rakesh's story didn't matter because he left early. Well, now, seems someone bailed on an obligation in a hurry. Well, anyway, that's another room down. On the question now is where to go next. I'm gonna, just for my own sanity, investigate the kitchen. Ah, it changes. Back to the kitchen, I think. Maybe I missed something. Rakesh is still here, but that other girl seems to have left. Still here, I see. I see no reason to leave, really. Did you wish to hear my tale again? It'd probably be a good idea to refresh my memory. I'm just going to take a look at this real quick, see if anything changes. Okay, so it didn't change. It's just... okay. As I returned to the main hall, I passed by... Oh, God. Sorry. Ooh. I passed by a couple and snippet of the conversation. Oh, yeah, it was a real big blowout fight. I couldn't even get service at 7 in the cafe. It was awful. That proves Isabella innocent. But that doesn't matter because it's already proved super hard that Rakesh is guilty. Butler, go gather the people. I think it's time we closed this case. Very well, sir. The little guy runs off to grab everyone while I collect my thoughts, and once everyone's gathered around, I stand next to the body while I eye everyone. Someone in here thinks they're pretty clever. Someone thinks they pulled the wool over my eyes. Somebody didn't count on exactly how smart I really am. I've seen the evidence. I've talked to some of you very in depth. Isabella winks at me, and the others look around to each other, sizing up what I'm going to say. And now it's time to bring this little game to a close, with me as its winner. It's all quite clear to me now. I take a last look around the room, drawing a quick breath as I begin. Business can get ugly. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. You can never know who you can trust, and that's why you make sure you're the one with the edge. How you get that edge, well, that's up to you. Mr. Body, for instance, chose to get his edge with dirt, blackmail. Isn't that right, Rakesh? After all, it's how he got you to work for him for so long. I don't know what... You didn't get here at 7. The butler would have heard the fight leading up to the murder. I have no doubt your alibi checks out until almost 7. But you checked out a little early, didn't you? You got here while the butler was away. You were sick of being a toady, so you came in to search for Mr. Body's safe, see if you could get out. But he caught you, didn't he? You gave chase and caught up with him here, smashing his skull in with the first thing you could find. And then, for good measure, smashing his watch when you were done. By the blood on the adjustment knob on his watch, I can tell you set the time back to 7, so your alibi would check out. But you could never get into the safe you needed, because he had the key on him the whole time. I flashed the tiny safe key. This key here probably unlocks a whole ton of dirt on you, doesn't it? No, do not open that safe. I am not a man of means. When a man like Mr. Body gets something on you, it is impossible to get out from under him. I had to do this, do you not see? It's the way it had to be. He had to be stopped before he could do this to someone else. Poor Rakesh. Tell it to the police. Congratulations, Max, you solved it. And yeah, no matter what with Rakesh, I remember with Rakesh's storyline, you have to accuse him. Like, his storyline was you had to accuse him if he did it because he wanted you to be honorable. But if he didn't do it and he did anything else, I think he still gained the points. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you all for coming out for the Alpha Theta Rose Fraternity Murder Mystery Evening. If you would like, please feel free to join us for a party proper at our house. Everyone claps loudly for the butler who takes a bow. People start heading out the door. The Latin House roomies gather in the lot. I can't believe how much fun that was. Did you see me in there?
Definitely. Clearly, you need to channel some of that all the time, man.
Oh yeah, you were definitely working it.
Oh, she wasn't the only one.
Well, hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
Though I can't believe they made me the other woman of some skeezy old businessman. Well, if the shoe fits.
Watch it, jackass.
Everyone laughs as Isabella starts chasing me around, threatening to bite me.
Ah, that was a lot of fun, to pretend to be someone else for an evening. I suppose that is what Halloween is all about, yes? I suppose that's very true, Rakesh. Nice work. Well, now that I'm done pretending to be a sexy office worker, I think it's time to pretend to be a drunken vampire. Who wants to go get some research material?
Hear, hear.
Are you really just going to pretend to be drunk?
Everyone just stares at Rakesh for a moment before we all head off, laughing to the frat house. Whew, oh my god, that was still like 29 minutes, even with reducing it. But yeah, that's why that event is like, it's just so long, and you know at the very beginning who did it. Like, once you get the item, you know. And then it's just all reading it, which is kind of... But that aside, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And hey, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!